Morning. These strings straighten out real quick. Yesterday was choppy mess. NQ had a big push up yesterday. We call it too big, pretty good size. Now we're sitting right back in the middle of consolidation on this thing, right back slap in the center. So again, today could be a choppy garbage day. SPY looks like it's going to open down just a little bit here. Let's first do this. Let's go to NQ first. A lot of the tickers look just like NQ and SPY, and they're both pretty much the same. There's always going to be the few tickers that push it no matter what the market does. Let's see what we can do here. Go to higher time frames first. I always start with a higher time frame, work backwards. Right off the bat here on the month. We talked about this yesterday. A lot of major support down here, absolute major support. The last time it came up, it made a higher low. We're right back in that consolidation. Now that's a huge range, so there's plenty of money to be made. So right here, we came up, pulled right back down. If it fails to make a new high here, or a new low. That's a higher low. It's a pivot high. Right here on the 4 hour, or even on the daily, we came down, we pushed back up, retested that level here. More than likely, guys, we're gonna go back to 12,942. So get it ready. Let's pull up the daily right quick. I'll show it to you. It's not looking good. And if it retraces, we can get right back to that low, that pivot low, very, very quickly. So that goes for any ticker. When this thing starts rolling over, the rest of the market's going to roll back over with it as well. So if you're long something, make sure you have hard stops in place. So right here it is. There's this pivot. Let's draw that across first. That's important. Right here. Here's the pivot. It's a major level of resistance and support. So price came down. It consolidated. Right here we see consolidation currently. It's rejected off that level there. The key is we break down. We're going to aim for this lower pivot right here, and that takes us right down to 12,942. Want to see how price reacts. The last few times it came down, it made a lower low. That's that pivot right there on the weekly. So there's still major support down here. We saw it on the month. So right now we're right in the middle. So right here, here's the range. We're right dead in the center of it. So that would be a doji. We did find rejection off that, made a lower high after hours there. So right off the bat here, let's mark levels on this thing. We see it right here on the 60-minute. We had that nice cupping pattern here. It came back up. It failed to make a new high on that pivot there. So it's a break retest. Back to the downside. We are making lower highs, lower lows here pre-market. And NQ short right this second. You got your futures account open. And we want to see how it reacts. Remember, yesterday was super choppy. The pullbacks were just huge. So make sure you're only scalping. Even though this thing's got the potential to move, make a big, huge move down, you can tell it was choppy just based by looking at the wicks on this thing. Super crazy. Take a look at Twitter right quick. Now we talked about Twitter yesterday morning. Looks like it's still wrapping up with consolidation, starting to cup right here pre-market. It's also consolidation. If it stays above 51.29, we'll see it push back up. The key level is it's got to break yesterday's high. If it don't break yesterday's high, we can back down. When it comes back down, you look to your left, there's a major consolidation point. That's a place where price will start to bounce and hesitate and chop again. So that's why those big candles are money. Let's take a look at Tesla. It's the right same thing. This really wide consolidation here. So basically, it's a symmetrical triangle right in the middle of the chop. It's not doing nothing. It's dangerous either way. It's best if it breaks 10.09 or 9.78. So remember, if you're going to be trading options today, one contract at a time, keep top stops on it. If it's anything like yesterday, it's going to be a choppy day. So keep that in mind. You may want to wait till 9:45 to do anything with options. ES looks exactly the same. We're making them higher lows on the month. Major support level. There's a higher low if it decides to tick back up. If it don't, we'll be coming right back down this low candle here. That gets us to 41.95 today, and then 41.29. You see right here on the 4 hours, our A plus setup on it. All right, this is our A plus setup on ES. See the lower highs coming back in that big green candle. This thing can drop like a rock. That's 42.38, or the base of it. There's the market. ES comes up. It can see 42.70. We want to see how it reacts that level. If it rejects off that level, it'll be short. Anytime it takes the day's low, it will be short immediately. NQ is going to be short as soon as it breaks low of the day here. It'll be short under 413, guys. Wait on it. Now here's that break retest we're looking at here. So we know it's making lower highs, lower lows. It's a downtrend channel on the 60. We want to see it touch this level. We want that pivot to act as a resistance level. It sells back off. So as soon as it breaks the low candle here, it will be short. Right? It gets us right down to the low of this big green candle here on the 60. If it's going to come back up, we want to see it retest the top side. But anytime it takes the low of this current candle out, it will be short instantly. Looking around, everything else is right in the middle of garbage too, so be very hesitant to take anything right now. If you're going to play NQ, you can scalp it. Pre-market data. Yeah, you don't need to use pre-market data at all. I turn it all off. I turn all it off. NQ's fixing to go short here. Every time it takes the low out, it's short. Short, guys. If you want to play options, QQQ short, SPY short too. We'll come back down that big green candle. Every time it's short, or every time it takes a low, it's short. Every single time, short again right there. Here's what it's doing. It's pulling back and breaking. All right, see it pull back here? Every time it pulls back and breaks, it is short. Every time it takes a lower day, it's short. Now, if we go to 60, we can see this huge green candle here. So every time it breaks, it'll be short instantly. Don't wait on me, just trigger. Every time it breaks, it's usually 5 to 10 points at a time. Somebody's short again, and the current candle is low, so just keep hitting it. Right here's that 4 hour. Again, same setup as ES. A plus setup there under this candle here. We're going to target 13. Oh, hang on. We're going to target 13.342 and 13.305. All right. Let's mark that 13.342. And it could drop like a rock. Yeah, so all my studies have, all my charts have the pre-market off. The only one I don't have it on is this chart right here. It's the only one that's got a pre-market on it. All right, so first target 13,342 here, guys. Again, if it breaks the next wick, we can see 13,184. Short again right here. Short again under 69. Come back down a solid green candle here. AMD, guys, is on a major support level here. If AMD breaks, we're going to see a major sell-off. So same thing. AMD is going to be short under 88.50, guys. Now look here. This is a big red candle here. I want to show you something. Say this thing starts to pick back up. It'll come back up just as fast. So anytime it takes a low, we're still going to take it short here. But it's just something to be aware of. These big candles are money either way. We start taking this high right here out, we'll look at taking it back up. Right now, we're still in a downtrend. It's a lower high, lower low every time it takes a low. It's short. AMD short right this second, breaking major support. Twitter short right this second as well. If you took some QQQ, you should be up on options. MQ short again, guys. Hit it. Crowd is short, retracing a huge candle. Netflix is short here. We're going to target 204.51. If it breaks that, major sell-off. So every time it pulls back and down, we're short. We're almost to target 10 points away here. Make sure you're locking in profits on along the way. At 13,342, you can see it marks the top of this consolidation here too. So we can see a bounce on that level and shoot right back up. So just keep that in mind. Anytime we take the high of this candle right here, guys, we will be long. If it breaks 13,378, it'll be long. And we'll target 50% of candle, 13,407, and then the open, the high day. It can come back up to retest this pivot or sell back off. Now, that's a beautiful thing about these big candles. It can shoot right back up. And the reason it happens is because this clean price action, first off. But secondly, there's a lot of stops stacked right here. All right, a lot of red candles stacked right there. Now, once it gets back to the top here, it can turn around and sell right back off just as fast as it came up. We're still going to take it short if it breaks low today. MOS is short here, guys. Beautiful, clean setup. A lot of stops to run. MQ just went short there. Hit her target. Right to the penny. How you like that? It hit it by one. It went through it by $1. So target 42. It went through at 41, starting to pull back up here. Every time it takes a low, you're going to still short it. Where else do you get 110 points at the open? Nowhere. AMD takes low a day again here. You'll short it again. This is a major resistance level here. Let me show you. If it breaks current candles wick, we're going to take it long, target 50% of body. So get ready. Right here, this is a major resistance level right here. All right, see how price reacted to it over here? It came down, chop, 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 popped up, chopped on the top side, came up, chopped again, to push right back up. This is a downtrend. All right, we are in a downtrend. If you go this pivot up here, anytime price comes up, it double tops and fails to touch it by 1 penny, it automatically makes it bearish. That's what we say, downtrend. This right here is super, super choppy. Even though this is a solid green candle here, not all green candles are created equally. Now, I don't care. Any time of day we take out the low, that's significant, and that is a short. BA's absolutely dying here. BA's breaking major pivot on 60. It's short right this second if you want to get a piece of it. MNQ goes short again on a low day, so 341. Short right this second, get you another piece of it. We can see 13,184, guys. Volume starting to decrease on it. We can tell that because of the candle size. I tell you what, if Tesla breaks this pivot 60, we can see another huge sell-off. So if Tesla breaks 975, it's going to be a major world of hurt here. Let me pull up the 5-minute here. I want to show you where we go long here. If it decides to push back up, right over top of that candle here. Right here. Now, right here, this is a support level. You see it come back up to retest that level, come back off. It's still making lower highs, so it's still bearish. Every time it takes the low, it's short. Okay. I'm just thinking ahead here. Now, if you look at the bodies on these candles here, see how they're getting smaller, large, medium, small. Volume's decreasing. We just ran 130, 140 points here. It needs a rest. We want to see it consolidate or chop for a little bit. That's what's happening here. All right. This is one huge red candle. Right? That is one huge red candle. Netflix is almost the first target, 204.51. BA is going to be short as soon as it breaks 17169. If you're still in it, you're going to add to it. Facebook's really tight consolidation. If it breaks 181, it'll be short. All right, when these things pop up, every time they pull back, I'm watching. See that wick right there? That wick is a support level. Over here, it's resistance. All right, so it looks like this. All right. Every time something starts to push back up, I'm looking for levels. I'm looking for levels to be broke. If that broke that level there, and we get a retest top side, it'll be long over the body, and we'll enter over the wick. All right. Here's a reason. If it breaks a low here, it'll be short. Here's the reason. This level here is a major resistance level. First off, it takes a lot of buying to break that level. Same thing here. You're gonna enter reversal on the tallest wick. That's gonna be your entry as soon as it crosses it. It does two things. First off, it takes a lot of buying to get to that level. It takes even more buying to break to that wick. And if price breaks that wick right there and decides to pull back, the bodies should act as, we're short right here. The bodies should act as that resistance. Short. What we do is I come on down here. BA's short right this second. AMD's triggered again. If you're in it, it's a good spot to add to it. If not, just manage your trade. Every time this thing comes down, I'm looking to see how far it pulls back. I'm also looking for resistance levels, closest, strongest resistance levels. Right here, the top of that wick right there, that's a major, this level right here is resistance. Right here is the next level of resistance. So if price pulls back up here, I'm seeing if it respects this area. So it breaks here. I'm seeing if it respects it. All right. There's that wave we're always talking about. As soon as it breaks the peak of that or the bottom of it, it'll be short again. This is fixing to take the 60 down here. SPY's short right now as well. BA is absolutely dying. Because first off, that's 25% from the base. And also, by the time it gets up in here, you're going to have at least 2 pullbacks to the top side. All right, so it's confirmation we're in an uptrend. NQ is going to be short as soon as it breaks current candle low here. Notice the bodies, they're getting smaller. Small, medium, a large, medium, small. All right, we're getting exhausted. All right, it don't mean it can't keep going down, but there's a greater chance it pulls back up. The first level of resistance is right here. And it's the same thing. By the time it gets up here, we get at least a pullback to the top side. We trigger over this wick. All right, for reversal. Right now, we're still making lower highs and lower lows. We're still in a downtrend here. SPY short. All right, right here's resistance. We start breaking this. We get a pullback. As soon as it crosses this right here, we're taking in a long. NQ short again right here. Texas short right now, guys. Breaking 60. It's breaking a major consolidation. All right, NQ breaks low to be short again. So keep an eye on it. SPY short right this second. Here's test on that 60. See that level right here? That's one hell of a support level. That's absolute major. You can see right here on the 4 hour on the daily. See that level? That level, with Tesla breaking that level, we can go straight to 890. 890. Watching NQ here on the 5 minute. We're going to look at taking it long right here. It's long right this stage. You're going to be aggressive with it. The target is this wick here. If we break this wick here and retest, it'll be long. And anytime it takes the day's low to be short. Nice job, man. You kill it every day in the first 15 minutes. It's the way it should be. Great job. Great job. So right here, still lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, downtrend. This is one huge red candle here, guys. This is one big ass red candle. That's a solid red candle there. Or what I call a compound two. If we look at it here, you can see the bodies are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That tells you volume's decreasing. I don't have to see volume. I can see it in the candles. All right, which means after this big move here, we're starting to turn sideways here. Now, regardless of that, every time it takes the day's low, it's still short. We're in a downtrend. It's making lower highs and lower lows. It's a downtrend. Short again right here. Test is short. Hope you got a piece of it. BA's break retested that pivot from the breakout. Will be short or add to it under 171.05. So they tried to take it back up and they failed. All right, that means there's only one direction. That's down. Etsy short here, beautiful compound two coming back through right this second. Ooh, Amazon's fixing to trigger downside. Not looking good, boys and girls. Dash, big sell off too. A lot of stuff's consolidating, guys. Docu breaks $84 to be short. Dash coming back down to 86.45, a little bit late to hop in it. If it breaks that level, it'll be a major sell off. The Zoom's fixing to trigger the downside here as soon as it takes the day's low under $97. Woo! Tesla, give my money. Make sure you guys locking your profits in on these things, okay? Lock it in. Now, on testing these other things, they have a tight spread. I just put a stop in. I don't ever sell it. I want to set a stop on it and let the stop get triggered. And you can do that with tight spreads because there's not much slippage. Netflix hit target there. You're going to drag your stops down right this second. Stop should be at 205. And Netflix is also breaking that major consolidation right this second as well. So we play everything. Now, we're looking at this pattern here. These patterns, if you just look at it, it tells you a story. You see it starting to cup a little bit. Now, it can consolidate and then shoot back down. So it could look like this. All right. But I tell you this, anytime price consolidates, it can break out either way. All right. It can break either way. NQ short again here. Holy shit, up 50% on some Teslas. Whew. Hope you got you some. So I can tell you. NQ short, guys. Holy shit. I looked away. I'm up 50 points on NQ here. 58. 60. Let's not be greedy. Well, let's just not be greedy. Raise your hand if you're making money. I know this guy is. Up 70% now on Tesla puts. I buy a bunch way out of money. What I'm doing is I keep pushing my stop up on it. $81%. $90% on Tesla. Hope you guys got you some of that. NQ, every time it breaks the day's low, to be short here. I get you pumping, the blood pumping. Up 102% on Tesla. Let's go. I told you on this big consolidation break, guys, it's going to be massive. All right. NQ, I can't watch it with you, but every time it breaks the day's low, it's short. Let's go look at Tesla right quick. Zoom fixing to trigger the next side down. Netflix is short again right here. If you've already been in it, don't do anything. Just manage your trade. Now, look, the longer price consolidates, guys, the bigger the break. All right. We talk about it all the time. The longer price consolidates, the bigger the break. See this 4-hour consolidation here? So not only does it make lower highs on the month, it's making lower highs on the week. All right. Pivot highs. Taking this consolidation breakout right here. This right here is a compound too. If you want to be technical, this is a big ass green candle to here. First target, because we target pivot to pivots right down here on this pivot. So this is all consolidation. There's your lower high. All right, it's a symmetrical, or not symmetrical triangle, it's a descending triangle. Lower highs, there's a flat bottom. That's a support. As soon as it breaks that, it runs all these stops here. Now price can come down, consolidate to retest the pivot before selling back off. So be aware of it. That's why you want to protect profits. Protect them. NQ, every time it takes a day's low, guys, just load up, load up, load up, load up. Netflix short right here, guys. Big sell off. Tesla, same thing. If you miss it the first time, as soon as it breaks 945, be sure. But get you some. BA just triggered downside again. If you held on, drag your stops down. Etsy's still coming down that big, huge compound 2 candle, almost the first target, 97.50. Next target, 96.50. If you're still in crowd, you're going to add to it as soon as it breaks 208. Netflix still going here. Tesla just triggered again the downside. Yes, sir. NQ short again, but just get you another one. Don't play with me. There goes Tesla. Nobody do what we do. Not every day. Not every day. Where's NQ going, guys? I'll show you. Right here, 60. Right to the pivot. Today was a day, boys. Now we look here on the left, right here. This is a major support level. It chopped here before. It could chop here again. Okay, it could chop here again. Now this entire area right here is support. Support's not a horizontal line necessarily. It's a range. There's a lot of wicking going on here. There's a shit ton of wicking, which means you know, we're going to aim for the 13,184, the lower pivot, right? We're going to aim for it. First off, price came down, retraced roughly 60%, maybe 70 before selling back off. This is a solid green candle to here. And but when you look left, if it's chopped before, it could chop again. So just keep that in mind. Every time it breaks the day's low, it's short. Tesla, I didn't want to tell you where I'm up now. If it's stopped before, it can chop again. Be aware of it. That's why not all compound twos are created equal. SPY still coming down. Netflix still coming down. Zoom just triggered downside. That move right there. Woo. It dropped $38, guys, from this entry on the break. NVIDIA is trying to do the same exact thing right here, so get ready for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is trying to take 60 down here. Also break consolidation. Now, sometimes they'll wick down and its expansion push back up. NVIDIA is in major trouble. Now, what I do is I buy weeklies. Wednesday after 9:45, 10 o'clock, I'll start buying the next week's options. If I'm buying, say, SPY or QQQ options, IWM, I get at least 2 days time on them. That helps with theta. There's nothing worse than catching a huge move and then seeing it being negative because of time decay. NQ short under 1952. That's a consolidation here, right? It's the rest for the next leg down. We made a massive drop just now, a massive one. We've dropped 224 points on NQ in the last 30 minutes. I call that a massive drop. NQ, every time it drops here, it's just no sign of slowing down. Now, 15, you can see the candles getting smaller. It just don't matter. Short again. Crazy. I can tell you this, we are due for consolidation, chopper rest. I can tell you that right off the bat here. So what does it mean? That means that we're going to start seeing a sideways move here shortly. And remember, anytime something consolidates, there's a chance it breaks either way. NQ short right there, guys. Let's go ahead and take profits on it right there. Not going to be greedy. I don't want to be a greedy guy. The video just triggered. Hope you got up. Already up 18%. Go ahead and roll a stop in there. Just a lock-in profit. Never want a green trade to go bad. You know what I mean? Don't let it go bad on you. It's the worst thing you can do is let a green trade go shit. Don't do it. Up 19.4%. Amazon just triggered downside. Facebook fixing to do the same setup as Tesla, NVIDIA right this second, taking out 60 down. Right, longer price consolidation, bigger the break. This trigger. That's a beautiful thing too about having these tickers. There's always going to be one that leads the pack. There's going to be ones that lag. NQ short again right here. And if you know that, you know how to play the game. Docu just broke 60. A little exhausted. Needs some kind of rest on this thing. If you're in Zoom or Netflix, drag your stops down. If you're in BA, go ahead and put your stop at 171.50. Just to lock in profits down there. Etsy hit first target. Crowd's still coming down a big, huge green candle. Etsy and crowd, beautiful. Super, super clean, guys. Super, super clean. Short here. 27% NVIDIA. Roll the stops up. And Q short, guys. Take profits again there. Sidetrack. Amazon went short, guys. You got to wait on a consolidation break. As soon as it triggers, you enter. See it? The longer price consolidation to the break, even on the 5-minute. So when it broke that trigger right there, it dropped 16 points. Let's take a look at Etsy real quick on the 15-minute. See that big green candle that's coming up or down? Let's look at the 60. All right, it shows you, that A+ pattern I'm telling you about. There's a higher low. There's consolidation. There's a big green candle. All right, crowd. Your best trades come back to these large candles, guys. Tesla's still coming down. Here's crowd right here. Lower highs, consolidation break, come back through clean price action. All right. So best trades on the planet. The target's always going to be open and low. Zoom. Now, how do I know these things are going to keep pushing as much as they do? Because I know what happens when they come back to them large candles. Now, I'm looking at 40. I'm only calling a handful of them. I'm looking for the best setups. There's Zoom. BA starting to chop down here on the 60. There's support levels at 172. Of course, you don't want to get back that much. It's still making lower highs here. Let's look at the 15. You can see that retest on it. They try to take it back up, and the pivot held as a resistance level. So right here, price breaks down, retest, pushing back down. We need to make a new low, so it needs to break 170.81. Now you could put your stuff at the top of that wick right there if you want to try to stay in this trend right here. This candle here is a measure move candle. I personally would take profits on it and wait on the next break. I wouldn't get back a penny of it. It's chopping too long. You can see it right here on the 5-minute. See it sideways there. Now there is major resistance up here at 172.20. It just really depends how much you're going to give it. It also depends on when you got in it. You just got in it. There's no way in hell you want to put your stop way up there. NQ, major sell-off here. Absolute fucking monster sell-off. Oh, yeah, let me show you on the 60 right quick. This is important, guys. I got stopped on the video. That's all right. I'll take 40% any day. All right, now look here on the 60. We know when price fails, if it comes down, it fails to make a new low, it's bullish automatically. Now, this is one big red candle, right? We came down a big green candle. We've made a red candle. If price starts to consolidate and we start making higher highs, higher lows, it triggers long right over that wick. All right, we can come up just as fast. We can come up just as fast. All right. Right now, it's still bearish. We're in a downtrend. We want to watch. When it gets close to this pivot right here, we want to see how it reacts. You got to take a step back and see. It's going to do a few different things. It's going to continue to reverse. Now, there's clues in there that we can look at to see what direction it's going to go. Again, this entire level here is a support level. It can do whatever the hell it wants to do when it wants to do it. It's done it before. It can do it now. You need to pay attention to that stuff. Look left. It's telling you a story. These candles tell you a story. Let's pull up the 5-minute here. Right now, we're inside. It's not a big deal just yet. It is a higher low and a lower high. As soon as it takes this candle right here, we're looking at a bullish move. I would wait to enter until it breaks this candle right here. The wick of that candle right there. All right. I don't want to guess the bottom. Right now, all it's doing is consolidating. It's a literal consolidation or a sideways move here. It's a rest. Imagine we just moved 200 points, 300 points out. I don't know how much it moved. It moved a lot. But it needs a rest. There's no doubt about it. It needs a rest. This right here is consolidation. Also, when I'm looking at this thing, I'm not really concerned with it until it starts breaking levels of resistance, right? Levels of resistance in wicks. Right now, it's just a rest. It's a rest till it's not. So anytime it takes a day's low out, it'll be short instantly. There's no doubt about it. The top side here, I like to see an inside candle and then a break, retest of support here and enter on the wick. Now, there's ways you can hop in early as usual. There's always aggressive, and then there's always a safe entry. So right now, it's just a rest. It is healthy. You want to see it. You want to see a consolidation, a rest. So consolidation is a few different things. It's a rest. It's a range. It's a chop. Right? It's a literal sideways move. And every time the market consolidates, it can break out either way. It can break out either damn way it wants to go. And there's clues inside this consolidation that gives you direction as well. One would be higher lows. Higher lows. So if it came up and it touched the top, and here we draw that section. If it came up and hit a resistance level, but it's making higher lows, that's bullish. Right? And break out the top. Now you can take it as soon as it breaks if you want to be aggressive. If you want to be in a safe trader, you'll wait till it retests that level before pushing back up. You'll enter this high. Now there's a lower highs. All right, so it hits support and it breaks. You can enter immediately, or you can wait on a retest of the damn side. Am I ready? Spend some money. Right now, we're still making lower highs, so we're watching the candles. The candles tell us a story here. So lower high, lower high, lower high. We've not made a higher high just yet. All right. So we have made a higher low and a higher low. Again, remember, this is a consolidation, so it's not. Now, if we break that candle, we're in the start of an uptrend because it's a higher high and a higher low. All right. But because, let me show you. Because this wicking right here, this is a major resistance level. This entire range right here is resistance. So right now we wait. We just wait. We wait on the break of low a day. All right, the lowest candle will be a trigger to the downside instantly, and we wait on it to break resistance. This range, it's a range right here. Now there's ways to hop in early if you want to be aggressive. Of course, if it breaks the high of that candle right there, be long instantly. Your target's only going to be the wick, the body, and the wick. All right. Right now we just wait. It's also making a symmetrical triangle too. So the more candles we get, the more information we have. So it's looking like this. It's a symmetrical triangle, which is really just a consolidation. It's also a doji. All right. So it looks like this right here. It's there's a consolidation. This is the range. If you draw a line where price is, it's a doji. All right, it's a chop. I talk a lot because there's so much information I can give you in such a short amount of time. Now, I post the recorded sessions in Discord. I highly recommend you. I highly recommend you go back later in the day. Facebook short right here, guys. It's breaking that consolidation. I highly recommend you go back in later in the day, in the evening time, on the weekends, and go back through it. And go back through the trades. All right. Facebook short under 180.56. A consolidation is a healthy thing. Now, consolidation can look like a bunch of different things. Every pattern that you've ever been taught is a consolidation. Every single one. These symmetrical triangles are consolidation. That's consolidation. A cup and a handle, or a cup even, is a consolidation. And really a cup is a compound 2, consolidation, and then another compound 2 on the way back up. Pendants, flags, all that stuff is a consolidation. There's ways to hop in early, like a symmetrical triangle. You can hop in when it breaks that wick or this wick. Regardless, your target's still the top and the bottom of consolidation. Right here, we're making lower highs. If it breaks that low, to be short instantly. And again, if you want to be aggressive, you can take it when it breaks that wick right there. It is safer because low and day is so close. It's safer to wait till it takes low and day. Facebook short here, guys. We just had a massive move to the downside. So we're chopping, we're consolidating, we're resting. It's a rest. You want to see it. Tell you this. You got solid candle after solid candle after solid candle with no rest. That thing will shoot up just as fast as it came down. All right, that's why the consolidation is important. All right, gonna be short on the low of this candle right here. All right, so I want to tell you this: every time it wick back, that's a consolidation. This right here, consolidation. This pullback, that's a consolidation. Right, so consolidation comes as a bunch of different things. NQ is gonna be short on this wick right here. NQ short here, guys. Give me my money, don't you pay. Give me my money. Hey, hey, hey. There's $15. Go to the house. Right. Oh, I'm already at the house. Short again here. Come on, light my fire. Woo, shit. Another $10. Every time this thing tickles back and pushes back, I buy. And then I aim for the lower day. That's what I'm doing. I'm also trading a longer consolidation break. So even these three candles here, the longer price consolidates. All right, first off, lower highs, flat bottom, short. All right, it gives you directions. I didn't feel me. Okay. It gives you directions. Remember, descending triangle, flat bottom on it. Lower highs, breaks at the bottom, so flat bottom break. Now let me do this. What is support? Should act as resistance. So when this thing pulls back, I want to see how it reacts around these wicks here. I want to see it physically act as a resistance level. All right. If it starts breaking this candle here, we can go right back into consolidation. We'll target 50% of this candle to buy in the high. Facebook, give me my money. X is short right now. If you guys took AMD this morning, pat yourself on the back and drag them stocks down. NQ is going to be short again on a lower day here. Go to AMD right quick. AMD broke that 60. See it right there? Same thing. A longer price consolidation, a bigger the break. It's also a break retest. So well, hell, let's just pull up the day. It's easier to see. I can show on the 4 hour. Practice looking at support resistance levels. It should be second nature. All right. So right here, there's one on the pivot. Of course, it's a pivot. There's another pivot right here, right on the low of that candle there. Remember, a down candle followed by two up candles is a pivot. So what happens is price comes down, it breaks it, retests it. There's another consolidation here. All right, as soon as it takes it, it's down. It's in a downtrend. It just broke this major consolidation right here. It broke it, came back to retest it, sold right back off. We're in a massive downtrend. Also, if you measure from the top pivot to the lower pivot, that's a measured move at 25 points. We could expect AMD to see $75. I don't know when, but that's the measured move target. Right? Now, you stop down to lower time frames, you can see entry. So right off the bat here on the 5 minute is when it went short. Right? So you want a retest. Here you go. So it breaks out. It comes back to retest it. Draw that. It breaks out. It retests it. So what was support now resistance level? As soon as it takes the low of prior candle, it's short. Right here, it consolidates again. All right, it breaks under that candle there for the next entry or add to it. And what does it do? It comes back to retest it. All right, makes an extra triangle. It breaks out again under this level here. Now, you want to put your stop right on those bodies there. You don't want to give back much of anything. Now, if you want to save as much money as you can, you want to probably stop out right above this wick here because it's changing trend. Right, because you get a higher high and a higher low immediately. All right, same thing. Here's an NQ 5 minute. We're watching it. Look here. This right here is support. All right, that's support. It broke it. All right, it broke it here. It acted as support here. Touched it 3 times. It broke it. Retested the first time. All right, we're currently in a consolidation again, and it's retesting it again. So it looks like this: is a break, retest. There's a second one. Anytime it takes 13,181.75, it'll be short. All right, so here's consolidation. All right, and after 10:30, they love to stack these consolidations on top of each other. So it breaks, retest, right back to the downside. And remember, everything between pivot or the peak and the trough consolidation as well. NQ short again here. Woo, shit. Let's go ahead and take some profits right there, boys and girls. Hang on while I manage my options. I'll put a little stoppy stop there. So the consolidation loves to stack on top of each other. Here's what it looks like. Pulls up. There's the bottom of it. It retests it, sells back off. All right, there's support again. It comes back to retest it, and then sells back off. All right, they stack around on top of each other. And remember, everything in these boxes is consolidation, or the wave. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. I'll show you something else. Between that wick and that wick is consolidation. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. All right. You got large consolidations on the 60s, 4-hour daily, weekly. And in the first part of the day, I want to show you this right here is consolidation. All right. It's a micro consolidation break. As soon as it takes a lower day, it's short. And I tell you that in the first 5-minute candle, when that candle comes down, this is important. When it comes down, it pulls back and then takes the lower day. That is consolidation. That's enough rest to re-enter the trade. That's why we can take this one candle here 15 times. All right, we can scalp it 15 different times. We're watching. We're watching to see if this resistance level holds. All right, now we're still making lower highs. We've not made one single higher high yet. All right, if you look at these wicks here, not one single wick has made a higher high yet. If it does, we need to pay attention. All right, so not only does it need to make a higher high, it needs to break a major resistance. So that's how you tell the difference between a pullback and a reversal. A pullback, first off, volume will decrease. Secondly, on a real reversal, it'll start breaking major resistance levels and turn them into support. Until then, it's just consolidation. Again, we're close to 10:30, so what's going to happen is volume and momentum's going to die here. Amazon short here. Facebook will be short again under 180. Moss is fixing to go trigger to the downside again if you're not in it. It'll be short on a lower day, still coming down. Yeah, so so Goose, I use a mental stop on it. If I see it creeping around 5, 10 points, I'll cut it instantly. Um, if you're new, I know you're not new, but I would use a hard stop. I would just go in with a bracket and then use a hard stop on it. I use it manually. I've got probably close to at least a 90% success rate on these scalps. Um, I just stop out, and sometimes what I'll do is say I enter NQ, and for a short position, all of a sudden it starts to pick back up, and say this right here is my resistance level. If it starts to pick back up, I'll cut it at $3. I'm not going to sit there and hold that contract until it comes back and retests. A lot of times I'll cut it only for it to pop back up and go in my direction. I don't give a shit. I'll take and I'll cut it for a small loss, and I'll re-enter on the break the lower day. All right, so that's the thing. You've got to keep these losses to a minimum. And if you're not good at obeying a mental stop, you've got to use a hard stop. There's no doubt about it. I'm quick. I don't use DOM. I use a basic entry. Everything I do, I keep it simple as shit. I keep it simple, simple, simple. Tesla's short here, guys. Facebook went short, and the video's going to be short again on a lower day. Amazon's still going down. I keep it simple, simple, simple. Yeah, so I use a mental stop, Goose. I don't use a hard stop. Yeah, don't do it. But I obey my stops religiously. I'd rather cut one for a small loss and it come back up, bounce, and come back down in my original direction. All right. And a lot of times that does happen. So when I stop out, a lot of times they'll come right back up, bounce, and then go right back in the way I want it, intend it to go. I'd rather keep it small. That's the key to everything, even options or commons or whatever you do in the stock market. Managing risk is the utmost important. I'm gonna short again here. All I need, typical scalp 5 or 6 points. Sometimes I'll let them run, 15, 20. Sometimes I'm not paying attention. A lot of times they'll go a lot further than that. Right here, we're looking at 8 points, fixing to just close it out. So I got stopped out. Here's another reason too. After 10:30, my success rates on scalps go way down, and I know that. So I typically don't like scalping much after 10:30. If I didn't have the room, I would turn the screens off because I know I'm going to start giving money back after 10:30. I've had all good trades. Every single trade I've taken this morning, guys, has been good. Every single one's been a winner. All right, and so it's getting close to 10:30. I stopped out. All right. After 10:30, there's a bunch of dirty ass people. Their entire job is to take the money that you've made away. And I tell people all the time, after 10:30, if you've made money, guys, you've got to turn your screens off and walk away. You've got to do it. You got to turn them off and call it a day. And even if you make your money in the first 15 minutes of the day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the day, somebody came in on Friday and was done at 9:34. That's crazy. Now, you're always told Amazon's coming down, Tesla. On good days, you should trade more. And I understand that philosophy. And that's, if you got a good day and you're on it and your strategy is working, yeah, you want to take full advantage of it. But you don't want to be too cocky because the market has a really nice way of punishing you for greed. Greed kills. I know my limitations, and like if I take something, now, even though we're still making lower highs and lower lows on here, I expect this thing to break to the downside. If I see a couple losses or 2 or 3 losses in 6 trades, I'll quit. I'll quit trading it. And you got to know when to walk away. You really have to know when to walk away. Let's see. Now your horse stops on down, bracket it. You're very welcome. Yeah, you're very welcome, Bruce. This is one of my best days, and you know, every week I'll say that. Oh, this is the best week. It's the best week. I'm telling you, they get better and better and better. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. I think I've had the best week in the year, and it gets better and better and better. It's crazy. So here we are at 10:30, guys. We're still making lower highs on this thing, but we're chopping. You know, that's what happens at 10:30. Volume momentum decreases, and we go into chop. So right here on that level there, that's a major resistance and support. So it's like this. On this side, support, support, support. All right. It breaks it. Now it's resistance, resistance, resistance. I can tell you this, anytime it comes up and it breaks that resistance and we retest, we're going to come right back up. Now, you got levels here. So right here, that's your first level. That's your first target, next target. Because price has chopped in this area here, it'll chop again. It will absolutely chop again. There's no doubt about it. Now, if you pulled up book map, guess what? This would be a hot area. All right. We don't need book maps. We know where their shit is right here. This is hot. It's hot as hell. If you had a VPO profile, it would look like this. It'd come concave. It would look like this. This right here would be point of control. And it would look like that, basically. All right. So one of the things I used to do when I first started trading is I'd have this profile up, and it might be good. It might be good if I just tell you about it right this second. Actually, it's let me see if I can pull it up. VPO, and it goes along with the book and resources. Volume at price. Highly recommend you read it. You gotta read it. TPO profile. It's a TOS script here. Let's add it here. Let's go to settings. I highly recommend you put it up. Now, I kept it on my chart where I can see it without the chart. But it may be good for you to keep it up there just so you know these levels. And once it's second nature, get rid of it. First off, time profile. Day. On expansion. No. Show point of control, yeah. Show value area. No. 50% here. We'll leave it at 50% for the time being. Point at POC. I like it a dark color. You can do whatever color you want. I like it like a deep purple. Want to be able to see it. All right. What I'll do is I'll make that a 2. Now, profile high and low. You don't necessarily need that. You can turn it on if you want. Why? All right, there it is. Now it's showing because here, let me go to regular ticker. All right, here's how it works. Let's go to yesterday. So first off, where this thing's jetting out the most is where most shares are bought and sold. All right, that's where most shares are bought and sold at for the day. All right. So right on the center line, point of control. All right. Now we'll go to today. I want to show you. Now, sometimes you'll hear me say these large candles, these compound twos. A compound two is a combination of candles that form a large candle in a higher time frame. It's a big ass bullish candle or bearish candle. It's massive. First off, it's important because it's clean price action. Secondly, it's important because there's a lot of stock stacked on it. And thirdly, it's important because I call it a gap because of this profile. Right. So where that large candle is, it's concave. All right. Price comes through quickly. If it reverses, it can come back up just as quick. All right. And a lot of times at the morning, you'll have a big dump. Price will consolidate, and it'll come back up just as fast. All right. There's no buyers here. There's no buyers here. All right. There's no places where prices hesitated. Now there is here. All right. It's a consolidation here. There's an extra consolidation, and right in the middle of that is what point of control. That's where most shares are bought and sold. They're a happy medium here. All right. They're in agreement. All right. They're in agreement right there. So because there's no many buyers here, price can shoot up just as quickly. So it might be a good idea just to have this up, just to see how price reacts, how volume reacts, how the buyers react at price. All right. Now you don't have to have it up there, but it goes hand in hand with that book, Volume Analysis by N. Cooling. Damn good book. Highly recommend it. Texas going to go short again on 9:15.34. See how this reacts, that point of control. Support here, resistance here. Anytime it takes the day's low out, it'll be short. Now again, price can, it's breaking right here. It can, when it pops back up, it can retest that level again, all right, for pushing back down. And short NQ here. Let's go ahead and take some profits on it. I don't need much. I'm not greedy. If I see $5 on there, I'm going to pick it up. I'm not a greedy man at all. And the beautiful thing about these options, these futures, guys, less time in, less risk. Let that sink in. The less time you're in something, the less risk you have. You don't have to sit through pullbacks. Like with options, you know, you want to get the most you can out of it. You got to sit through a pullback, and there's a big drawdown. You could be up $1,000. The damn thing pulls back of $1, and you're down 60% of contract. That's ridiculous. It's insane. Not with futures. You take that money, you get out, your money's reset, you reload it right the next time. Insane. So you can use this right here. If it don't work for you, get rid of it by all means. Sometimes people recommend me shit. I'll throw it up there. You know, I'm not opposed to trying something new out. If I don't like it, it gets cut. It gets cut. This is not a lagging indicator. It shows you stuff in real time. It shows you where volume at price is. It shows you where most buyers and sellers are. So this, knowing where consolidation is, it basically tells you everything where Bookmap is. Bookmap, I tried it. I've got it up there. I tried it for a couple of days. Too busy. Too much noise. And I'm not saying it don't work. It does work. But I can see that shit without it. So I don't use it. NQ consolidating here, you can see it retesting that level. Any point in time it breaks 13,167, it'll be short. Now let's look right quick. Let's look at the 60 because we know price expansion exists. So what happens? Once we get down to pivot, we got to pay attention. Here's why. Let me get rid of this garbage. First off, it'll expand. What does expansion do? First off, it traps bears. All right, it traps them. Secondly, it runs all the stops. There's a shit ton of stops right there. Thirdly, creates liquidity, and they'll buy this thing and take it right back to the top if they want to. Again, if it's gonna reverse, you want to see it start making higher highs and higher lows. Also, I like to see at least 25% from the bottom. All right. Now, if price is going to continue, guess what? We want to see a retest to the downside. We can see that on the 515. We don't have to wait on a retest on the 60. I'll say this too. Sometimes price will break. You'll get a retest downside. Price will come down, consolidate, and retest a second time. All right. So what happens is when it consolidates, we'll take it long. The target will be the pivot because it's going to do two things. It's going to continue or it's going to reverse. If it comes up here and it hesitates, this acts as a major resistance level. Guess what? We're going to take it right back down to the low, to this pivot low down here. All right? It's just that simple. There's so many different things you can do to these pivots. They're fucking magical. That pivot is a magnet. It's a magnet. So right off the bat here, we've expanded the range. Sometimes it'll come down, it'll feel the touch it by 1 cent and reverse. Now, I don't like the TPO. I do, but I don't. I'm going to get rid of it. Get rid of it. So here's a 5 minute. Now, here's another thing, too. You don't want to be so focused on the 5 minute, you neglect NQ short. You don't want to neglect the, I missed it. You don't want to neglect, I missed it again. Don't feel. You don't want to neglect the 15, 30, 60. All right. So we got to retest that pivot to the downside here. All right. Now remember, if it's going to continue reverse, we'll see it first on the lower time frames, right? So right here, we'll see it on these lower time frames. If price is going to continue, so it breaks down, it pulls back, it breaks down. This level here, this wick here, can now act as resistance right there. That wick, this random wick right here. Now this entire area from here to here is resistance. I missed that there. I'd like to caught that spike there. I would have scalped it. Hell, you know me. That was 30 points though. But because if you were just focused on the 15, you would not be aware of that 60. You would not be aware of that 60 pivot. What's happening right there? Now, let me bring up the 60 right quick. That 60 pivot marks a major, absolute major consolidation. All right. The longer price consolidation, bigger breaks. Consolidate for 2 days there. We know if we get a retest downside, we're going to have a huge ass break. It's massive. And if we go to higher time frames, I know what the higher time frames look like. Going short here. See if it holds there. Hang on 1 second. Go ahead and take profits on it right there. It did retest this area here, 13,184, pull back down. If it breaks 13,143, it'll be your safer entry downside. I want to show you the higher time frames, but I want to catch this move today. Just short it right here, target 143. I'm on my fire. There's $5. We'll take it. Your safe entry, of course, is under 143. That is the target right here if you're short. When it breaks that micro consolidation downside, and it retests. Short again here. Let me show you the higher time frame right quick. Right here on the monthly, that's major support, guys. I'm telling you, longer price consolidation, bigger the break. If we break this, holy shit, it's not good. It is not good. We'll target the closest support levels first. That's a major support level, and then there's one on the base of it. Of course, we target pivot to pivot. Holy shit, 15 points. If we break that level, we are in trouble, guys. We're in absolute trouble. Now, it's consolidation. So it's consolidation. I'll say this too. Every time it came down here, we had a huge rejection. And we know that because we see it. We see it and get close. Now, this right here, the last time it made a lower high or a lower low, sorry, and then rejected. So we want to see how it reacts when it gets this level here. The reason being, that was a sharp rejection. When it touched that level, it shot right back up. Shot back up a lot. Not exactly how much, a shit ton though. So we got to be aware of that. That's why you want to work with your month and work your way back. Right here, we got a lower pivot high. We got a break retest. We're coming back down our A+ setup here. So did we know where this thing was going to go? Yeah. Right here, lower high, consolidation break, retest, come back down to solid candle. Target's going to be that wick right there. No doubt about it. That's our A+ setup right there. Consolidation break back through large candles. Money. They're absolute money. There's a lot of stop stack there. Now, right now we can see 1300. The first target on the daily would be the open of that candle, 1379, because the open and the wick are two separate targets, guys. Body wick, two separate targets. Now, because we're on that 60 pivot, we're still going to pay attention to it. We want to mark any kind of major support levels, resistance levels on the 5 minute. It is choppy here, so of course you just want to scalp. But you can tell it's choppy because of all the wicks. So right here, first level support resistance level. The next one's here, right there. Still making lower highs and lower lows. So we wait, and I'm watching. Every time it breaks here, I want to see this act as resistance every single time. If it starts breaking resistance, right, and retest becoming support, we're moving back up. There's no doubt about it. Because this is one big ass red candle, it can push up quickly because it's on the 60, and I know that price expands only for it to come right back up. We can push back up just as quick too. So I'm keeping an eye on it, and I can tell you this: some tickers are already starting to push back up. Tesla, oh my god! I hope you guys caught Tesla. That's all I can say about that. And AMD. Straight down, boys and girls. Look at that. Consolidation break downside. You know, the first target's going to be this pivot. It's the big green candle here. Let me show you. Here it is right here on the weekly. If you don't know how to compound these candles, go to resources. There's a video called Candlestick Math. Don't worry about finding dojis, hammers, and shooters. That's bullshit. All you got to worry about is how to put together a large candle. Now, there's people on Twitter saying mother bars this, mother bars that. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Not all candles are created equal. And these mother bars are outside candles. They're not the same thing as what I'm calling a compound too. So don't be led astray. And their mother bars they're talking about is it's right here, right in the middle of a fucking chop. Right? Would you be in that? Having somebody takes your strategy and try to make it their own. They don't know the fucking rules. I built this from the ground up. I know everything about it. Anyway, consolidation break right here. It comes back to retest it. It's short on these wicks here. Let me draw it. Right here, consolidation. All this is consolidations ugly, making lower highs. It breaks it, retest, downside. This right here is a compound green candle. All right. There's a split there. That's resistance or support. All right. So that's your first target is going to be the body wick of that candle. Right here, small gap. Next target will be 50% of this candle here, body wick, and then the pivot. So right here, lower highs. Can't draw it right there. There's your lower high here, so it looks like this. Straight down, big green candle. Now here's the thing, people making scans for these large candles can't do it. They're not outside candles. They're not a fucking outside candle. That's why you gotta see them. You gotta fucking stick them together like a puzzle. Yes, sir. Muchas gracias, amigo. Buenos dias. All right, hold on. Yeah, I'll talk about the VWAP script. We go longer 24 reversal. Oh, I'm sorry, I just now saw that, my friend. On NQ, I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes to get back to the messages. I'm sorry. What is that? Yeah, if we can get back, if we can get back over this support resistance level here, yeah, I would definitely look at taking it long. So here, here's a real reversal, guys. You may want to timestamp at 10:47. There's a day's range consolidation. Now, if you're going to take a reversal, here's the rules. It works on any time frame, on any ticker. First off, your best reversal is going to happen back to this large candle. This is a big ass red candle. All right. So first of all, look for a large candle on your left. Secondly, you want price at least 25% from the bottom. We don't want to guess the bottom. All right. Now, there's ways I can get in early, but I want to keep you safe. 25% of the bottom. What does that do? That gives you at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows. These are my rules. I made them from the ground up. Everything I do, every rule I have is for a specific reason. I can go in, I can spend hours talking about it. On the outside, it's simple, but deadly. 25% from the bottom. All right. 25% from the bottom, you want to find the closest and the strongest resistance level. Right here. All right. So wrong. The reason we want to pick that is because it's twofold. I'll tell you in a second. First off, it needs enough buyers to break that level. It's a major resistance level. Your entry is going to be over the tallest wick in that range, 25% from the bottom, right there. Now, you want to get in close to the bottom so you can take advantage of the entire move. Also, you enter over the wick, all right, 25% from the bottom, strongest resistance level. You enter over the longest wick in that resistance. What this does, it takes a lot of buying to break through the resistance. It takes a lot of buying to break through that wick. That wick is the last leg of hidden resistance and sell orders. So if you enter on the wick, because you are on the strongest resistance, if price pulls back, it should act as support. So if price pulls back up here, it breaks the wick, you enter, and all of a sudden it comes back. This level here should act as support. Right? Now you want to put your stop 30 cents below that level. If it breaks it, you cut it. Right. So what we're doing is we're running, since it's on the major resistance level, we're running all the stops on that level. Anybody that's short has got their stops set right there on those wicks in the bodies. We know where they're at. Creates liquidity. When they get stopped out, they got to sell. Right. Pushes price back up. When you're doing this, all right, you're going to take the range, you're going to break it down into 30, 50, 61, 75. All right, because especially later in the day, especially after 10:30, this could be a larger pullback on a higher time frame. All right, so you never neglect the higher time frames. This could be profit taken on the higher time frame. So your target will be 50% of the range, 61, 75, 100%. Now, if there is a pivot along that way, that's a target as well. And also, right here, in Q, see how these pivots are really close? This is a big one here, but say it's on any other ticker, and you got a pivot right on top of each other, and you're going to enter. Wait to enter on the highest pivot. Right? The reason being, sometimes they're stacked, 3 points away from each other, or $3. Wait and take the highest one. The reason being, if you enter on the low one, your target is the high one. Right? Same thing on the way down. If you got a pivot here and you enter here, your target is just the lower pivot. All right, so the risk reward sucks. All right, right here on NQ, we're looking at short here. Right here is a support level, resistance. All right, so anytime we take the day's low, be short. Now we talked about this earlier. After 10:30, they love to stack these things right on top of each other. Right here, support's really tight. They'll stack it right on top of each other. All right. It's also consolidation. So everything between that pivot is a consolidation. Here. See it line up right there? Here's the next one. There's 3 right there. I don't want to put the middle. It'll mumble jumble it. Right here. It breaks down, retest. Breaks down, retest. Most important part is takes a low day is short. That's all you got to know. It's supposed to go short again on a lower day. So right off the bat, what you want to do is go back in history and look at these reversals. Let's do this. Let's go to 15. You can see the candles better. In large candles, your best reversals come back to these large candles. So first thing you want to do is look for large candles reversals. I mean, if you go to daily, you'll see them everywhere. So right off the bat, it's easier to see. Right off the wicks right there. As soon as price starts to get above that wick, it'll be long, especially if you get a retest. Now, if you want to be aggressive, you enter on the wicks. If you want to be safe, you'll wait till it retests. All right, that's your safest entry. You'll take it over prior candles high. That's your safest, absolute safest entry. This is one big red candle here. So on my flex grid, guys, I've got a 60-minute chart and a 15 for each ticker. I like the 60 because it allows me to see back a few weeks back, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And the 15-minute gives me a stronger signal, right? I love the 15. It gets rid of all the noise. A lot of times you won't even see a pullback on the 15. 5 minute a bit too busy. So if you're getting a signal on a 15, it's relevant. So right off the bat, just a 15-minute chart here, I can tell you the level is real quick. Right? Anytime we take the day's low, we're short. We're in a downtrend. Right here, there's 25% from the bottom, strongest resistance level. That's our entry to the top side. I'll be watching it. If it breaks this and we get a retest, and to be long instantly. We'll target bodies and wicks. Ultimately, we'll target the pivot because pivots are magnet. A lot of times they'll consolidate, come right back up to the top. We get a retest back to the downside. We'll take it right back down. It'll be a big green candle on the downside. Facebook right now is retesting pivot downside. Right? So the pivot is acting as a support level. Is that important to know? Yeah. Yeah, it's important. So remember, the pivots act as a magnet. So look here, consolidation, it's a big long consolidation, longer price consolidation, bigger break. Here's that break right here. It can see the consolidation. It come back to retest the pivot. At any time it breaks 180.05, it'll be short. It'll be this wave right here. That wave is in everything. That wave is a pullback. It's a retest. It's consolidation. It's a breakout. It's a reversal. It's everything. It's in the fabric of the stock market. That wave is in every single thing you ever saw. It's right there. That wave is the truth of the market. That's why it's my profile page on Twitter. I discovered that wave, and I know nothing's new in the sun when it comes to trading. I discovered it from drawing it every single day, multiple times a day. From the pivots. That's how it first started. Right? Right there. Right? Breakout. I would only trade breakouts and breakdowns to begin with. And I'm like, all right, there's a false break. Why am I not taking this damn thing back down? I'm like, all right, let's go in the direction of the trend. Let's, it's a false break. They take stops, trap bulls, and then the create liquidity, we take it right back down. So, so now, and also too, when you're taking just breakouts, what happens is it just ran from the bottom to the top. It's fucking exhausted. All right. That's why you want to get that retest. That's a rest. It needs to continue higher. But if it comes up to the top of the pivot, it expands the range. We get a retest downside. Now we're going to take it back to the bottom. Right, we take it with the big boys. Right here, breakdown, consolidation, retest. If it takes the lower day, it'll be short instantly. We'll go back to the trend. Right, so support. This is a major support level. It's acting as resistance. We want to know that. So basically, here's what they're doing. They took it down. They try to push it back up. They failed. If they can't take it up, there's only one direction to go. That's down. Down, down, Sally. Tesla trying to go short again right here. Amazon, same thing as Facebook here. Consolidation, as soon as it breaks consolidation, take a lower date, it'll be short. It's a short again here, guys. If you like cheap contracts, Ford short right this second. Target 1464. Buy a shit ton of those in the money. All right, let's go with some questions here, and I'm going to call it. You what script you had on Twitter. Yesterday. Nice job, Sarah. That's what I'm talking about. Great job. Yeah, Tesla beast. Yeah, and we talked about that last week too. That gap fill. You know what I mean? It was coming. It was coming. Amazon consolidation break downside here, guys. It's just the consolidation is just a rest. It's a rest before the next leg. Right, so here's Amazon. This right here is a huge compound 2 candle. This is one big ass candle. This is a consolidation here. If it breaks the low, it'll be short. Right. This right here is consolidation. All this is a sideways move. Consolidate for 3 days. We go to the higher time frame. See it. first off, guys, if it breaks this low here, guess what? We have a we got the A plus setup on the month. We know about this, so we know the pattern. Right off the bat here, if it takes that wick out, first off, it's making these are all lower highs. There's a lower low. If it breaks that wick, we got a huge green candle right here, and it goes all the way to here. It will rapidly get to the pivot. That's an $800 move, guys. That's 800. That's an $800 move. Let's sink in. And it'll drop like a rock. That's one solid green candle. Here, let's do this. Let's go to the quarter and the year. We're gonna find that green candle. I can guarantee it. We compound them. We know what they look like on higher time frame. All right, there's part of it. There's a bigger one. Ooh, look at there. What do we got there, guys? We got an A plus setup right there. Compound 2. There's an A plus setup, lower highs. Breaks this wick right here. See, it's actually coming back to retest it right there. Takes the low of that candle out. If this, I want to tell you this, the only thing that separates this pattern here is price and time. If it works on the 5-minute and it works on the 15, 30, 60, it works on every damn chart, it works on every time frame. It works on every time frame. Lower highs, there's consolidations marked by that low of that candle, breaking it. We're actually pulling back, so it looks like this. It's actually pulling back to retest this wick currently as we speak. When it breaks that low, now we're going to target the open of that candle first. We'll break that down to 50%. Right, just like we were on the 5-minute. Same exact concept. Same pattern. The higher time frame it is, the larger the move, but it also takes more time to fulfill. It will. Let's put it back on month. Right here on the week, we can see that large candle too. Now on the week, it's wicking down there. This is still one solid green candle here. Right? That's still one solid green candle, but it's wicking. So every time it got close, huge rejection. Huge rejection. So here's our pattern here. Lower highs, consolidation. It breaks it. There's a retest of the downside there. There's another pullback to the downside. Target's going to be here. Now there's that lower high or that lower low right there. That's that one that's on the month right now. That lower low right there. And look here. When price comes up and fails to touch the pivot by 1 cent, it makes it bearish immediately, and you see it sell off. How many times can we spot our A plus setup on this chart right here? Let's start here. 1, green candle, pulls back, consolidation, back up a red candle. Right here, consolidation, back down a green candle. Right here, consolidation, back up, hit 50%, finally came back up. There's another one here, consolidation, targets here. Here's consolidation, back down a red candle, back to a green candle. And right here, there's the next one, back down a solid green candle. This pattern's money. And you know, every time it comes back through there, it's quickly. It's a very quick move. Quick. The VWAP script, the script shows you, it gives you buy and sell signals. So, you know, of course, you got to add a little bit of price action with it. You want a break, retest the VWAP to continue higher. You know, I used it when I first started trading, did pretty good on it. You know, some people want confirmation. They want to see a physical confirmation. So VWAP, you know, a lot of people make a lot of money on VWAP. A lot of institutions use VWAP. Tesla's going to be short. Nvidia's going to be short. Amazon just went short. Facebook, get you some, boy. QQQ or NQ went short here. So first off, you want to trade in the direction of trend. So if you use the Bob scan here, they're all going to be bullish. You want to go with the trend at the open. Amazon short here, guys. Just consolidation break the downside. Up 15 points right here. Going to go ahead and take it. And we have our next sell off here, guys. Consolidation break the downside. Tesla reloaded again. I sold the other ones. I'm back up 10%. Facebook, and I'm still in it. Only up 5%. Green's green though, right? So VWAP, you want a strong ticker or a bad ticker. First off, you don't want to trade a ticker that's sideways. So you still want to add price action to it. If your candles are sideways, wait. You want to make sure it's clearly trending, making higher highs or higher lows, right? It's got to be trending. I don't care which way it trends, but wait until it's trending. If it's sideways or choppy, like Amazon is right here on the 60, wait till it breaks. So see how it's breaking here, the downside? That's when the VWAP scan is going to be at its best. Every time it makes a low and it crosses, it'll give you a signal. It'll give you a green candle. If it moves to the top side, it'll give you a red candle. Opening range break, that's in there too, because all it do is the ORB, what it does is it marks the first candle, the 5-minute candle. You can change it to a 15-minute candle if you want. I like the 15 because it's a stronger signal. So basically it's saying if you take high day, it'll be long. If it takes low day, it'll be short. And a lot of people use that strategy there. The instructions, make sure you go through the instructions a couple of different times. They're really good. Also on Twitter, I gave a thing. It's SAR. It's here. Hang on a second. I gotta manage these stops real quick. It gives you the strongest tickers in the market, and then and I got this from Register. So what you want to do is pick the strongest sector in the market, and then pick the strongest ticker in that sector, and that's the one I want to trade for the day. And you can do the opposite for the worst sector and the worst ticker in that sector, and trade it for the downside. Pick a couple from each one and just target those. You don't want to be scanning the entire market. You're going to miss something. You're not going to thoroughly analyze that trade, and that's why I love my flex grids. I know the personalities. I know each ticker. I know exactly what it's doing on higher time frames. I know everything about it at any given second. And I used to be a scanner. I'd scan, and I made a lot of money and shit. But it's a headache. It's a headache. And sometimes you'll miss stuff, or you won't thoroughly analyze it because of that. So. Yeah, make sure you go to scans. The direction's really good on it. Now, if you have more questions and stuff, I'll be glad to help you with it. Me now, I just trade price action. It's easier. The VWAP study is a good one. It gives you clear signals, but again, you can't just use it on any ticker that you want to. It's got to be trending. Right now, we're in a downtrend. A lot of markets in a downtrend. So of course, every time it touches a VWAP and bounces off of it, you'll get a signal and you'll enter. You'll enter. So it's best, say you're taking a down signal on a VWAP. When price comes up to it, you really want to see it weakened off that area. It shows you there's a lot of resistance there, a lot of selling pressure. And same thing the top side. If you're taking a long position and price comes back up against that VWAP, you see it start to wick out. A lot of buying pressure on that area. And if you'll start noticing, if you'll watch that, help you with price action too, because everywhere that VWAP bounces and you get a retest of VWAP, if you look to your left, you're going to see the candles. You're going to see a stack of support resistance, right? So if you watch the candles, you'll eventually be at a point where you don't need it. But I'm all for tools that work. If it works for you, by all means, use it. The video went short there, guys. It's breaking consolidation again, the downside. Hope that helps. It's after 10:30, guys, so of course the market is going to choppy chop. Lucky Martin pushing up here. NQ, pretty good sell off here. Now we need to watch. We need to watch the 60 or the 30. It don't matter. We want to see how price reacts. Again, remember that the pivot is a magnet. So what can happen is it can come back to physically retest this pivot again before selling back off. We want to see how it reacts. If it comes back up to the pivot. So what I'm saying is, if we consolidate and we reverse, we start making higher highs and higher lows, your target's the pivot, all right? Because that's a magnet and come back up to retest it or come back off. And it can happen at any point of the day. We could come on down here, and then after 2 o'clock, it'll consolidate and come right back up. Target's the pivot regardless, all right? You will target the pivot. You take it long. When it gets back to the pivot, you want to take a step back and you want to see how price reacts around it, right? Because it's going to do one or two things. And here's how you get confirmation. It's simple, all right? It's simple. If it's going to keep pushing higher, you want to see it physically come back to retest it, all right? So you want resistance to become support, all right? You take it long, all right? If it comes up and rejects that level, you want to see it retest it, right? Or you want to see it start making lower highs and lower lows, or you can take our rules for reversal. 25% from the bottom or from the top of this right here, you want to break the strongest support level, right? And then you're going to be really safe if you went on a retest. Right? So you can use your rules for any time of day. Right, here's a consolidation break, lower highs. It breaks this wick right here. It's short, right? And because that's a solid green candle, you see how fast price came back down through there, super quick. You can also see the bodies. The bodies of the candle are getting smaller here. Large, medium, small. Volumes decreasing. When you're looking at candles and the way it's moving, you really need to focus. You really need to look at them. I don't think people pay much attention to them. You've got to read these damn things. This current candle's inside. It goes inside, open up inside. Automatically, it's a higher low and a lower high. Right? That's important. Now, at first, it's not a big deal. It's just inside. It's neutral. Right? Not a big deal. It's a place of concern. Not a problem. Now, when it takes out this candle here, it made a higher low. That's just sort of an uptrend. Still not a big problem. It becomes a problem when it breaks resistance. So right here, that's resistance. All right. So you need to really pay attention then. Then when it breaks it and retests it, it's a major problem. All right. We're looking at a reversal. We're looking at a reversal there. So then you're going to do is you're going to look up and left. You're going to find the strongest resistance level. All right. And you're going to draw a line across that level. And if it breaks that and retests it, you'll take it long. It's reversed. If you're short, you need to get out. So if you're in something and you're down, say you took something long, and all of a sudden it's coming back down, and you don't know if you should cut it, and it starts breaking support and retesting it, you better cut it because it's going to take a shit ton of buying to break back to that level. So you either exit and look for a short position in it. All right, so there's lines in the sand. Those lines in the sand support resistance. On that note, we're starting to slow down here. You can see the market slowing down. And I want to show you this too. As we look at this thing, we can kind of see direction. If you just take a step back and look at it, the first 30 minutes out of the day, a lot of volume. As the day increases, you see it starting to go sideways. So it'll do this. It'll go sideways and continue, or it'll go sideways and then we'll start to cup up. All right. So you can see it's telling you direction. I'll tell you. So really what it's doing as a whole, it's consolidating. Now, if you want to draw on a larger scale, every bit of this right here is a sideways move. And if you want to break it down a bit further, right here's the strongest support resistance level, and it's consolidating sideways here. So right off the bat, if it's going to continue, you want to see it start breaking these levels. Now, right now, we got a higher high and a higher low. So look, that's the first pullback to the top side. All right. So now I was telling you on these reversals, you want to be at least 25% from the bottom, and you want to break this tallest wick in that range. Now, there's that wick here, but right above it is another level of resistance. So I personally wait till it breaks that level. The key is you want to be as close to the bottom as you can so you can take advantage of the full move. When you start getting around 50%, I mean, you've given up a lot of the move. And there's ways to hop in early too. There's ways to be aggressive and anything. So the next level would be right here. All right, that's support resistance. There's the tallest wick in that range. All right, so if it starts breaking this wick right here, you can take it long. So be safe. You can always wait on a retest. Your first target is going to be the resistance. You know, so get a little bit choppy coming up through here. When you break this level here, you should get a very fast, quick move at the top because the price action is clean. Facebook will be short on a lower day here. NVIDIA is going to be short again on a lower day. Come on, baby, light my fire. Move my stops up on Facebook. BA is trying to break down here again. NQ made a lower high and a lower low here. Let's go ahead and short it. I'm going to target 13,108. Probably sell it before it gets there. I'm fixing to call it here. All right. Put a buy order for 13,113. Even though my target's 108, I'll just take 50%. Let's see where we go. I'm just playing around right now. We already went up 7 points. I usually would take it. I'm just messing around. Let's see how this plays out. Guys, I hope you had a great day. Had a pretty good sell-off here. Market's in trouble. And frankly, I don't care which way it goes. We're going to make money either damn way. I like for them to move up. There's no doubt about it. I like stocks to push up. People, especially people that got IRAs and 401ks and stuff, it's not good when they come down. If anybody's having any problems or struggling, you didn't make money today, or there's something, reach out. Everybody should make money today. So we need to figure out your stops, where you're having problems, your entries, targets, stops, all that's important. And another thing too, if you're in something, you can't hesitate. You know, there's risk in everything we do. You can't be second guessing yourself. If you look at something, you're like, well, I should enter. And then you enter 20 seconds later, it's too late, brother. Too late. First off, you're paying premium for the contract. All right. You're paying, I'm going to take profits here. I can't handle it. Up 10 points. Target's 108. I set a limit at 12. If I had to guess, I would say it come right back down to 108. See, there's it hit 112 right there. So if you're struggling, reach out. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. Let's figure out the problem. But you can't hesitate. The first time you hesitate, a few seconds makes a big difference. A big difference. If you're trading options, especially as soon as it picks direction, the premium skyrockets. The ask dramatically increases. All right. So you gotta pick direction. We short right here on this candle here. Target's still gonna be 108. So short again here. I just took out the play. But you can't hesitate. I'm probably fixing to close this out unless it starts coming back down. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out for 5 points. I think it's 625 when it closed. I hesitated and I wasn't paying attention, but you can't hesitate. Now this thing could still go on direction. I don't care. I'm gonna keep the loss at a minimum. All right, I'm gonna keep the loss at a minimum. I'm not gonna see if it comes back up and bounces off resistance. So it should have bounced right here, it didn't. So you got to keep the losses at a minimum. That's all there is to it. But you can't hesitate. Your timing has got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And it's not hard. Here's the thing: when something consolidates too, the good thing about these consolidation breaks is a couple of different things. First off, when it's chopping like that, there's no direction. All right? There's no direction. And what happens is the spread will actually get smaller. Even on Amazon, that shit will get 40 cents, 50 cents. But once it picks a direction, it'll open up $3, $4. All right, in 2 seconds. So if you're 5 seconds late, you're paying top dollar for that contract. And as soon as you hop in, you're gonna be down. And as soon as I hop in, I'm gonna be green. All right, so you can't hesitate. It's not an option. And a lot of times on these bigger tickers, I love them because I'll take advantage of the spread. I'll hop in, it pushes up, I'll sell it ask, I catch the top of the spread. I mean, within a minute or two, it's crazy. But timing's everything. A few seconds makes a big deal. Big deal. Another thing with options too, when we're coming up to a target, all right, I like to target the body. I like to be out at the body and not the wick. I want to beat the crowd. I want to beat the people selling. All right, they're gonna put their sell orders at the wick, the high low of the candle. I want to beat them to it. I want to sell to people. I want to sell them. And then people that's saying, all right, this thing's moved up, I'm going to chase it. So people's got FOMO, I'm selling to them guys. All right, they're paying the top dollar. And I used to be one. You hop in something, all of a sudden, the shit goes right back down. You've got to sell out for a huge loss. We sell those people now. Right now, we're pushing back up, break consolidation to the top side. So here's what it looks like. And again, remember the pivot is a magnet, so it can come back up. First thing I do is mark this resistance level here. I want to see a retest. All right. I want to see a pullback top side here. If it does, we'll target this body here in the wicks. Now, that's still a lower low. That's bearish. Still bearish. For watching. Currently pulling back, it's retesting. So anytime it takes the high of this candle here, it'll be long. Target will be that wick there. Right here should be support. Let me get rid of this now. Right here on the bottom, that is a support level, and it can retest it in the current candle. So we break out, it's retesting it, pushing back up. On the 1 minute, you'll see it. So anytime it takes the peak out, the high of the candle will be long.
That low on there's really close to the recent lows in February and stuff, so we could see a lot of support right here.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, it's a massive. a massive level of support. And on top of that, those wicks, man, on the month are violent. So when they touch that level, they rip back to the moon as quickly as they came down.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying a out of the money Q call.
Oh man, and it could be magic. Now a little bit, I think a little bit early to buy one. Now I would probably wait until it starts breaking these levels, at least making higher highs, higher lows. Ideally, you want to be above this right here, but you know you wouldn't want to give up that much money. So right here's a major support resistance level right here. So
Might
if
be
you
a
break that level,
good spot for a strangle as well.
yeah, I agree with that 100%. You're right though. A lot of the market is starting to push back up here, so there's always going to be some tickers that lead the market. So right off the bat, NQ breaks this level here. We'll target this wick here, and then this line here, which is resistant. Put them by and be aggressive. All right. That one didn't fail. Let's see where we go here. .6 points. 7. Might close it here. Turn solid red. Down 7 points. 8 points. That is support right there on those bodies. .6 points, 3 points. Down 5 points. 4. See some green. I'm gonna take profits on it. It's just too chopping. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till it breaks prior candles high here. I'm gonna wait till it breaks right here. I'll re-enter long. It's chopping. When it goes, it should pick a direction and go immediately. It's just chopping right there. The good thing is it's sitting right on top of support currently. Let me redraw that. Come on, right there. That's support. That's really low. Okay. It can quickly come back down to 13 too. I'm gonna go ahead and close. I'm not gonna play anymore. I'm just messing around. I'm gonna get money back. All right, guys. I'll get bored here. I'm gonna start throwing money away. I appreciate y'all very much. This thing can still pop out of this wick right here. Target is only gonna be this body right here. We're back in a major consolidation, so it looks like every bit right here is consolidation. Sideways move. It's also a chop, right? It's a chop. It's a range. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all guys very much. Be careful here. Again, if at any time it takes a lower day, of course it's going to be short. It's just how it is. Every time it takes high day or lower day, it is short or long. Now come back through there. Let me give you a label on it. The first thing, your safest entry long side is going to be the high of this wick right here. Let me say, what is that? 13,224. will be your entry to the top side. 13,103 will be your entry to the downside. This right here gives you 25% above the base. So it gives you at least a couple higher highs and higher lows, pull back to the top side, confirmation of uptrend. This right here is a major resistance level. So if it breaks that, it should act as a support level. So it gives you an extremely tight stop. If it breaks that level, your stop should be at 13,211. And you can even put it higher than that. I wouldn't give it no more than 10 points for damn sure. But I appreciate you guys very much. Hope you all have a great evening. If I see these levels getting close, I'll send alerts out on the private Twitter. So I appreciate you. If you're having problems, be sure to reach out. You should have my cell phone number, Twitter, Discord. Always a way to get a hold of me. Appreciate you guys. You're very welcome. I appreciate y'all very much too. Yeah, wonderful. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to short right here, guys, if you can still hear me. I'm going to target 50% of this candle, 13,125, and then the low, already open.